what we're going to do today is we're going to do our coco vin, and that is a red wine braised chicken. But first what we have to do is we have to make our red wine brine. And the reason why we brine is because it keeps our chicken moist, it adds flavor, and it also tenderizes the chicken. We want to brine it for a 2-day period. We're going to cut up our mirepoix. Mirepoix is just carrots, onions, and celery. Put it in our pan, just like so. And you just rough cut. Rough cut. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add our allspice, our cinnamon, our garlic, chopped garlic, bay leaves, cloves, fresh thyme. Oh my goodness, delicious. And we're going to add our salt, our kosher salt. That's all I use in the kitchen is kosher salt because it has a nice clean flavor. Not iodized salt. Iodized salt is way too powerful. Believe it or not, it tastes saltier. We're going to add our sugar, our red wine. What we're going to do is we're going to stir this up. Just whisk it all together. Get everything incorporated. Okay, now we're going to add our hot water. And the reason why you want to add hot water is because it'll dissolve the salt and sugar. If you don't use hot water, then the sugar and salt won't be dissolved into the brine. And that's all a brine really is you can add whatever acid you want. Acid would be the red wine. You can add brandy. You can do white wine if you wanted to do white wine. Lemon juice, whatever acid, but you definitely need an acid. Okay? Now what we're going to do, now that all the sugar and salt and spices have dissolved into the liquid, we're going to add ice. And the reason why we add ice is to cool it down quickly so then we can break our chicken down and add it to the brine. Okay? Now we're just going to set this aside and let the flavors build a little bit. Let that ice dissolve, and then we'll start breaking down our chicken. Now that we have our red wine brine and the ice is melted so it's nice and cold, because you never want to put a raw chicken in a hot liquid. You'll get sick. All right, so we're going to take our chicken. This chicken is from Thaddeus Farms out on Wabala Island. We're going to break it down and we're going to add it to our brine. So first what you do is you make 2 slits right here and here, okay? And you use the natural weight of the chicken. See that? See what we have here is we have collagen tissue that holds the meat together. There's 2 types of tissue. There's collagen and there's also elastin. And if you can see right there, that silver skin looking stuff is elastin tissue. That's very tough tissue. Collagen is what holds the meat together and is very tender. All right, so we're going to separate. What you want to do is you want to make sure you get this little piece of meat right here. It sits right in here. That's called the oyster. You always want to make sure you get that. That's the most tenderest part of the chicken, believe it or not. All right, put him right in our brine. Do the same thing over here. Again, making sure that you get that oyster. And you notice I use my hands just as much as I use my knife. Okay, right in our brine. Now here what we're going to do is we're just going to take him, cut right down the middle, just like so. Cut here, and again I'm using my hands just as much as I'm using my knife. Okay, and what we'll do with this is we'll make stock out of it. Remember, nothing goes to waste. Same with the chicken wings. snap that sucker right there. We're good to go. And then what we do here is we just take the breastplate right in the middle. And there we go. Snap these bones off right here. Okay. Nice breast meat. Submerge him in the brine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to wrap him just like so. We're going to take him to the refrigerator. We're going to take him to the walk-in for 2 days. That's how long this guy's going to marinate.